Hey guys, it's no news to anyone that New World is in dire straits. It needs something drastic to change to save it from Jeff Bezos' cash milking dungeons. In this video, I'll go over my ideas for how to save the game, so stay tuned for that. Okay, you know what I think the game needs? It needs some famous actors to do voiceovers. The first thing this will do is create hype for the game. Second thing is it'll make the game more interesting, kinda like they did with Destiny 1. Nathan Fillion voiced the character Cade 6, if anyone remembers. I remember really well. I was invested in the game just because I love Nathan Fillion from Firefly. Add one or maybe two interesting actors connected to an NPC in the game, and then I think they should make these NPCs connected to a new piece of story or content. This new story should be actually well written, should make players interested in learning what is going on, but most importantly, they need to give you some good loot, some cool cosmetic items for your character, your house, maybe your mount if they made mounts available in the game at that time, maybe pets, all of these kinds of things. And then those two characters should represent two different factions. For instance, like how they did the Future War Cult, Dead Orbit, and New Monarchy in Destiny 1. I know I'm using Destiny 1 as an example a lot, but I really like Destiny 1, so I'm gonna keep doing it. This is going to give the players something to talk about other than the gameplay, because the gameplay, let's be honest, it needs a lot of improving. They're working on it probably, and it's gonna take some time to improve that. In the meantime, players need something new to focus on, as well as the gameplay. In turn, this is going to give the players a deeper connection to the game, thereby increasing the likelihood of them staying with the game for the long term. This is how I envision this new piece of content could play out. Let's say, for instance, they pick Nicolas Cage to play like a dope-ass gothic character. They announce on the news website and in-game that, let's just pick a random date, let's say the 5th of June. A mysterious character is going to appear in a random town, let's say in First Light. They make the character walk into the city on the day that he's set to appear. So all the players will be waiting in First Light, looking for this NPC. And then once the clock strikes 12, this character spawns somewhere outside of the city and walks into the city. Maybe dragging like a cart or a coffin, or carrying something into town. He looks real haggard, and he doesn't say a lot. He just walks into the town, hitches his cart to a nearby post, and then he sits down on the statue, on the steps of the statue in the main square. And first, you hear him talking to himself about something strange that went on in an island or something, but then you can talk to him all of a sudden. You can take his quest. So we click on this character and he tells you a story about how he wanted to discover the truth about Aeternum, how Aeternum was created. His research led him to discover a small island off the coast of Aeternum. And so he gathered together an expedition and he went there. Traveled by boat. Once they got there, they discovered this strange island. I know Aeternum already is perhaps an island and is also strange, but this one is strange even by Aeternum standards. They get there are maybe no animals there, or maybe strange animals. Something needs to be off about this island. But the strangest thing, they expected to find a ruin, maybe some ancient tablets. What they find instead is a giant, mysterious looking castle with misting around the castle. Immediately they set up camp outside the castle and they begin exploring. First they're unable to get into the castle, but then they find a way into the castle somehow. Each time they go into the castle, they experience strange things, they hear whispers, and the crew start going mad. One by one they disappear, and the only lone survivor is this NPC that is voiced by Nicolas Cage. Now he wants to discover the truth behind what's going on in the castle, so he recruits you to find out. and to recover any strange artifacts or pieces of lore that you might find. There's another character that you get to meet after accepting Nicolas Cage's quest. Perhaps you meet this character on the island, or before you get to the island. And this character does not want you to enter the castle. Tells you it's cursed, tells you not to go inside. Begs you. But then when they understand that you're not gonna be dissuaded from going inside, they ask you to kill the Baron of the castle and not to report to Nicolas Cage and tell him what you find. They tell you to get rid of all evidence of this island and the castle upon the island. So what New World then can do is that they can make this island and this castle and the questline a procedural event that players can take part of, that takes place over several weeks. Does anyone remember the Isle of Keldanas in World of Warcraft and the Shattered Sun Offensive in Burning Crusade? It says here on Wowhead that it happened in patch 2.5.1. I remember that real well, how it was one of the most exciting events in World of Warcraft that I can recall. Going to this island, having to work with your faction, build the base over time, assault the Magister's Terrace and the Sunwell Plateau before you can enter the dungeon. That was really epic, really cool. Made me feel like I was part of the events going on in the world. I think New World should do something like that with this idea of mine. So imagine this island. You have to first get there, maybe build a boat to get your faction over there. Once you're at the island, you need to fight past enemies, get to this dark castle, discover the abandoned camp that was set up by Nicolas Cage and his expedition. From there on, you'll assault the castle. You need to find a way inside the castle. And of course, there's going to be bosses and rooms that you have to unlock. Also, kind of like Icecrown Citadel in the Wrath of the Lich King. And then you can choose which NPC you wish to help. Whether it be Nicolas Cage or this other mysterious NPC that doesn't want the secrets to get out. And yeah, I think something like that could be interesting. I thank you guys a lot for watching this video if you made it this far. If you liked it, consider liking it and maybe subscribing if you want to see content like this in the future. I have several ideas for other things to improve the game. What goes on beyond the Shattered Mountain? How to improve PvP? How to improve towns and the world in general. So stay tuned for that. And have a good day.